All this week, we have looked at Indiana's bicentennial and the part Terre Haute and Vigo County play in those 200 years of history.
Tonight, Kevin Orpert takes us back to the state's earliest days, a time when Indiana business was just beginning. Bemis brings you Kevin's bicentennial story.
One of the earliest influences on the economic development of the state of Indiana was the Wabash and Erie Canal. At a length of nearly 460 miles, the canal was dug by hand by Irish immigrants at a wage of 60 cents a day, plus 2 jiggers of whiskey, 80 cents a day if you fed yourself, and extra whiskey if you worked on Sunday. And it came right through the Wabash Valley and Terre Haute. Local historian Mary Lee Hagan tells us,
well, the Wabash and Erie Canal arrived in Terre Haute in 1849. And at that time, it was welcomed with open arms because it was going to be not only a pathway for passengers to come to this area, but it also was going to have an economic effect on the area because goods that were produced here could be moved on, and so it opened up a whole different world for those people that lived in the area.
There was one Terre Haute industry, however, that benefited greatly from the canal.
Well, interestingly, one of the biggest impacts on our city were the beer manufacturing district that the Germans had established over by what is now Mager's restaurant. Blemo area it was called at one time. Stables restaurant is in that area. And they loaded beer onto flatboats on the canal and transported it then south. So it was a real economic boom to the beer industry in the city. They put barrels of beer onto those flatboats and took it down the river and the canal, and sold it.
While Terre Haute and the Wabash Valley got a big financial boost from the canal, it didn't last long.
By 1860, the canal was gone. The reason it was not gone physically, but its impact on the community and in the area was gone because the railroads had arrived on the scene, and they were a much faster and cheaper way to transport the goods that were manufactured or grown in this area. So it was a very short span of time that it was economically beneficial to Terre Haute and Vigo County.
In fact, by 1854, canal boats were already hauling rails for the new iron horses.
The canal, I believe, ran back in through this way.
So is there any evidence of this important but short-lived part of early Indiana history? Next time we go looking for what might be left, and what we find is, well,
Whoa!
Whoa, that's not fair.
I agree. He left us hanging. Oh, what a story. As you might imagine, there is more to discover in this very interesting story.
Yes, it is. Kevin tells us what he found tonight. You got to wait tonight on News 10 Night Watch. That's at 11:10 in Illinois.